So in this second installment of communication methods, I wanted to go over a little bit about how you can do the same sort of things that I was showing in the previous video when you were creating a new ticket, but now doing it when you've already got a ticket created and you want to add a CC user, or you maybe want to change the set personal from not to to setting it as personal, or adding a secondary agent, for instance. So here on the screen here, you'll see that I've got the ticket that I was using as my example in the previous video, and I'm going to use that same ticket to do some editing to, if you will, to change and add things such as a CC user and things of that nature, or subscriber. So there's a couple different ways of doing some of these things. So the first thing I want to show you is you can click on this edit button up here. So I'm in the ticket already. It's still an open ticket. I haven't closed it or anything. It's an open ticket. You notice over here I've got the subscriber tab from the previous subscribers that I added when I created the ticket. And now I can go up here to the edit button above it, click on it, and this window will pop up, and you'll see over here are the subscribers, what they are. One's internal notes only, one's a secondary agent, and I can click the little green plus sign here and add a subscriber. But again, like I said before, you'll notice that the list here, well, it does two things now. It's My Team. You got two tabs up here. You got a My Teams and an All Agents. My Team, of course, since this is Boulder County campus, that's where campus I'm from, you'll notice that the names that are listed here are only Boulder County campus people, whether it's the service desk, whether it's student workers, whether it's the full-time folks like Kent or Paul. That's all that's in this list. So if I wanted to take it outside My Team and add an agent from a different campus, I could click on the All Agents tab, and now this gives me everybody on all campuses. Again, specific to the IT department, because you'll notice there's only IT people in this list. So depending on who you're looking for, you may have to switch between these tabs to find something. So I'm going to add Justin Brown, who's another student technician, to this ticket. So I select them, click OK, and you notice that ASM is a secondary agent. I really had no choice there about whether or not they're internal notes only or they have the view only permissions like it did before. So I don't think you can change that. I don't see any way of changing that. You can delete them, remove them by clicking the little red circle out here, but I can't change the type of access they have like it did when I first created the ticket in terms of the permission levels. All I can do is I add them as an agent and they become a secondary agent. I can't limit them to internal notes only or to watch or view the ticket only. And so once you've done that, knowing that in this subscriber view, all you can do is really add them as a secondary agent. You really have no choice there. Click OK, and you get out of that box. And now you're back to the ticket. And you'll notice over here in the under the Subscribe tab, now Justin Brown's listed there as a secondary agent. Now, the other thing you can do is, let's go back to ticket details, is under Actions, there's a way of adding subscribers in here as well. If you go to Agents, you notice there's an option down here that says Add Ticket Subscriber. And here I actually can select, whether they're a secondary agent, whether they're limited to internal notes, or they can only view the ticket. So if I click, let's say I don't want them to view the ticket. So I want to go back in here. Now I'm going to try this here because Justin Brown's not listed here anymore because he's already a subscriber. So I'll select another one. Let's say Bill Baker. Let's say my IT coordinator for Boulder County campus. We'll select him as view only. And notice that subscribe went up by 1. And now Bill Baker is an agent on this ticket, but he can only watch. He can only view the ticket. He's a view only type of agent. And I'll go ahead and delete Justin here so we don't have two secondary agents. We only have one. So basically I have one of each type here. Internal notes only, secondary agent, watch only. So the edit, if you're going to add a secondary agent, that's probably the only reason why you'd probably want to go to the edit, is because it's a subscriber, but it's really all you can do here is add a secondary agent. So you can't really add internal notes only or watch only type of permission level. So that may not be the best place to go. You may want to go to Actions and go down here, then Add Ticket Subscriber, because that gives you the options to whether, if they're not secondary agent, if you want to limit them to view only internal notes or only to view the ticket, basically watch the ticket only. This is where you want to go to do that, is within here. Now, like I said before, the other option here is you still can change this ticket even though you didn't do it initially. You can say set personal. You can set this as a personal ticket, meaning that the agent's names will be visible in emails. And of course, it warns you about that before you do that. And I'll click yes. And now it's personal. And you'll see that back on the main summary page. I'll go back to that here in a second. For this ticket, you'll see that personal indicator, little icon that says personal underneath the ticket summary. And then the third thing that we were doing in the communication methods stuff was the CC a user. Now that is under users here. Under the users, you notice it blows out another drop down over here, and you can either remove CC'd users that you created or added when you first created the ticket, or you can add new CC users. So you can just click on that, and of course it gives you everybody. You've got basically the whole list of students and faculty and staff, and there's even some group names in this particular. So let's add let's add the dean. Let's do Jameson here just for the heck of it. Matt Jameson, he's right here. We'll add him as a CC user, so we click OK. Now that might not show up anywhere except for under the history. And on the summary page, if you go down here to the bottom, you see that I have added Matt Jameson as a CC user, besides Deb Craven, which I added when I first created the ticket, which is back up here towards the top when I first created the ticket. So you have all that history of, removing somebody. I removed Justin from the ticket. I added Matt. I added Bill as he can only view. So you see all that stuff under the history. So now if we go back to the main sort of summary page where you see all the tickets, so let's go back there real quick. And the good thing to do would be to change that to open. Reduce the amount of clutter. There's my ticket. You see it's got the little personal, so I've set it to personal now. Still assigned to Paul. I can't scroll over. Why can't I scroll over? Oh, there it is, right at the bottom. Right at the bottom. How long the ticket's been open. I mean, it's a countdown. How long the ticket can be done. Oh, response time. So there's my ticket. It's been set to personal. You can go into it again. See user information. I created a ticket. Looks like the only place you really can see that I've added any CC users besides the emails being generated and being sent out to let people know that there have been changes to the ticket would be if you look under the history tab, at least for us internal IT folks to look at what's going on, employees, to see what's been going on. You can see that, oh, Matt Jameson was added as a CC user. Or, you don't have that nice page when you first created a ticket, a new ticket, to see that stuff. So you had to kind of track it down here in the history that, who's who and what's what in terms of the ticket stuff. Because the ticket details here on the ticket page, you see notes and stuff and what's been going on with the ticket, but you don't really see that sort of information like, user information like who am I communicating this ticket to, or, subscribers. Well, you go to the subscriber tab to see who's subscribed to this, who's been subscribed to the ticket, who's viewing it, who's watching it, who can make changes on it. Because none of that information really shows up. The CC users or additional subscribers doesn't show up here in the summary. You have to go to the subscribe tab, or in the case of CC users or set personal, for instance, you got to go to this history to see what's been done. And that's it. If you have any questions about this one, don't hesitate to give me a call or an email. Of course, I'm not the only one that knows about this stuff, but I made the video, so if you have any questions about the video, give me either email or a call, and have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.